Welcome back to Cryptochester. I'm here today to give you a Bitcoin update. We're going to be going through Bitcoin here on the short-term time frame, the mid-term time frame, and of course the macro long-term, because there's some very interesting stuff that I do want to go into very shortly. Also, we're going to be looking at CME gaps, Bitcoin dominance as well, and potentially some altcoins if we have time. Okay, so without further ado, guys, I just want to get straight into this TA because I know some of you watch this on replay, so I don't want to keep you guys too long if you are watching this on replay. So yeah, as you can see right now, Bitcoin is actually looking pretty bearish to start the week off, guys. We are currently sat resting on the volume-weighted ATR band on the 12-hour and the 15-minute, which is very crucial. And I will go into more details as to what we could potentially be expecting from this area. I mean, personally, right now for me, I'm probably quite bearish on this situation. I know we're likely to have a little bit of a bounce, and we are currently experiencing that right now. Not too big, a little bit, but I think there's a lot more pushing us down right now than there is pushing us up, okay? And I will go into that in a bit more detail. But in terms of chart patterns right now on the short-term time frame, I see here Optimist in the chat saying hello. I see Philip as well saying hi, Chester. Good to see you, mate. Nice to see you guys on the stream. Do appreciate it. And obviously, if you enjoy the content, drop a like. You know what to do. But yeah, talking about chart patterns right now, guys, you can see clear symmetrical triangle chart pattern. Mr. Miles as well. Nice to see you on the stream there, man. It's been a minute. It's been a long time. You can see obviously symmetrical triangle chart pattern coming through. You can see lovely levels of support. You can see we've actually broken this level of support to the downside, okay? So this is essentially bearish right now. There is a mini measure move, okay? There is a mini measure move which we could be getting involved with. If I'm taking that trend line down to get as many touches as possible, the measure move that I would be referring to would be nearly completed, actually. It would be something along the lines of that, right? Something along the lines of that, and that would bring the price down to around 40,650. I mean, personally, I do think it's going to be going a lot lower than that right now, okay? And I will go into that on the macro. I've got something in my eye. But yeah, let's go into a bit more detail on that. I mean, in terms of this position, right, it would have been worth around 2%. Worth around 2%. I got into a little long off this volume-weighted ATR band, and then I got out of it because I saw a lot more downside coming into fruition, right? So I'm currently not in a Bitcoin position right now. I'm looking to go short, and I will explain as to why on the more macro timeframes very shortly. But in terms of what we're really looking for Bitcoin right now, guys, on all time frames, I guess, right? On all time frames is essentially this volume-weighted ATR band to break. Okay, we've got the bearish chart pattern right now that would break into the downside, and this essentially, because obviously we've got this very strong downtrend, a lot of downwards momentum coming through into this bearish pennant chart pattern, and this essentially means we're likely to see continuation to the downside, right? So the real point that I'm looking to lose as a level of support is going to be this volume-weighted ATR band on the 12-hour. That is 41,000, guys. If we lose 41,000 with significance, so 12-hour candle body closes I'm looking for. If we can get them, which is in 4 hours time, 3 hours and 52 minutes time, if we can really get them, I do think that we're going to see a bit more downside, right? We're going to see a bit more downside. Nothing too crazy, because it's still going to be holding up bullish market structure. But I see Mr. Mars saying it's called a bear trap. Yeah, I mean, we could trap, but I do think first we're going to see some more downside. And the downside that I'm referring to is going to be down to Fibonacci 0.618, the 3-day volume-weighted ATR band, the 4-hour volume-weighted ATR band, and also potentially this 1 day as well. Okay, so I think we're going to be doing something along the lines of that. We will bounce very aggressively because there is a lot of bullish fundamentals, obviously, with all the ETFs and all that good juicy stuff. I don't know if I've got them on this chart anymore. Maybe. No, I've got the photos gone. I had all the deadlines on the chart. I don't know if you guys remember it from previous weeks, but yeah. So there's obviously a lot of fundamentals pushing us up and keeping us up. Obviously, you can see this trend right now. It's very strong. Not really setting any solid market structure here on the macro, but we need to. Okay, we really need to set the next solid higher low point, and that point that I'm referring to right now, the most recent higher low that we've got that's actually confirmed, is all the way down here, guys. It's 25k. It's just horrific. So even if we do like absolutely tank it down to 28k, 25k and bounce from this area, we're still going to be bullish. Okay, it's still going to be bullish market structure overall in the macro. So ideally we need to have a bit more of a correction, in my opinion. I mean, we could if we broke this high, this would confirm this area right here as the most recent higher low, and that would hold up in terms of market structure. But I just think we've been so bullish for so long. If we look at the weekly here, it's quite embarrassing actually to see without a correction, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it 8 bullish candles in a row? Yeah, 8 bullish candles in a row. Can he count? Yeah, 8 bullish candles in a row. And then obviously we had a bearish candle last week. So I would expect a bit more downside and then a really, really nice bounce. Okay, if we look back at previous history here on the daily here, you can see, let's reference the volume weighted ATR on the daily here. This little, it's like a pale skin color. What's the word? It's like a kind of a ready sunburned skin color. Volume weighted ATR on the daily, and you can see the bounces. Let's see the bounces that we actually get off that when we do test it. You can see a nice big bounce there, lovely bounce there. And if we don't test it if we don't break it with a lot of momentum, it's not essentially that valid. But if we're going back in history, guys, and this is the position that I'm really looking for at the moment, you can see we break it with momentum. You can see we little test it there, bounce it. Test it here, bounce, 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 bounce. Very, very, very strong, okay? So if we are going to be referencing this, again, really, really nice bounce again. These bounces are like 5 to 10%, guys. They're around that sort of area. So we have, in terms of live price, we've cleared that for quite a while now, okay? Quite a while now. If you look at the daily all the way down here, we've cleared this with a lot of momentum. We actually haven't tested this just yet. So if we do come down to this area, I would expect a nice big bullish bounce of around 5 to 10%. Probably going to be going for 5% just to be safe, but on average, they're usually over the last sort of, I think like 5 years or so, they have been they've been around 10%, right? So just to be safe, I'm going to cut that figure in half. But also, guys, we do have the 3-day volume weighted ATR event in there as well. So we might get a bounce off that. I'm really looking for the daily because we've got the data there for the daily. We don't really have that much data for the 3-day. So that's going to be my big bounce long position for Bitcoin. But in terms of what I'm looking for now, in terms of the short position, guys, which we need to be very vigilant for because, again, we do have these bearish chart patterns that are going to be coming through. And you can see, just to explain this position a bit more, I've got a 1-to-1 trade here. You can see we've got to the top side, 4-hour volume weighted ATR band, 60-minute and 30-minute coming down. These are obviously, well, the 4-hour is still bullish there, but the 60-minute and the 30-minute is coming down. So ideally, when we're into this sort of short position over the next sort of, maybe the next sort of 3 or 4 days or so, depending on whether Bitcoin bounces here or holds this 12-hour volume weighted ATR band, what I would expect is these guys to be coming down and just coming ever so lower into my stop loss area, right? So if we do see a bounce and I'm in a short position and I get wrecked, we've got a lot more indicators that are basically holding us up for resistance. So we can actually come up, test, we still be negative in our position and then see another run down potentially. So that's sort of what I'm looking for there from a safety perspective for this position. But in terms of a confirmation for an entry, guys, this is where it gets very important. You can see this 12-hour volume weighted ATR, and again, we're currently testing that. Sometimes we do see a little bounce, and we have seen a little bounce over the last few hours or so. Very, very, very small, not even 1%. So maybe we see a bit more of a bounce, maybe up to the 7 SMA, to the 21, and then further downside, okay? Because at the moment, guys, this is bearish, right? It's bearish. We've had a bearish week last week. It doesn't look great. Market structure still holding up, but we're not breaking highs anymore. We did have a head and shoulders chart pattern on one of my charts somewhere, and that will bring the price obviously back down. We've got CME gaps. Obviously, we've got one still to the upside that we've just set here over this weekend that isn't filled. But you can see we've got this giant one again, guys, that we haven't filled from 40,000 to 39k. So I would expect to be coming down to these areas. And if we do come down to these areas again, we're going to be trading this from a nice short perspective, and it's going to be a really, really, really clean trade if we're going to be staggering our take profits and doing it correctly, okay? And what I mean by that, guys, is that we're going to be getting in and using all these relevant potential levels of support as take profit points. Once we hit our first take profit, you know what to do. We take this stop loss and we go bang, straight to entry. Okay, so if we do get stopped out, it's a risk-free position. And just talking about just general trading for a second, guys, I am going to be doing a trading challenge, $5,000 to $100,000, and we're going to be starting it on January the 1st, ideally, if I don't get impatient and I really want to start it before that. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that on Fairdesk, guys. You can see I put $5 grand in the account. It's going to be really, really good. Really looking forward to that. And that's going to be January the 1st. And if you want to do the copy trade thing, link is in the description. And you can literally just put money into the account, and I'm going to be trading my account, and your trades will match up exactly to mine. So essentially copying every position that I'm going to be doing here. So yeah, we're going to be doing that over, don't know how long it's going to take, guys, because remember, you got to do risk reward. I'm not going to be gambling this. I'm going to just be like, right, 5 grand on one position. Let's go to the moon. It's not going to be like that at all. It's going to be very, very, very risk averse. Is that a word? Maybe. It's going to be how I trade, guys. Stop loss at take profit. Once you hit your first take profit, it's going to be very, very structured. And hey, it might take a year to get there. It might. Who knows? Who knows how long it's going to take? Who knows what positions are going to be coming up to us? But that's going to be the goal. $100,000 from 5 grand. It's a pretty big ask. But I do believe we can do it, guys. I do believe we can do it as one. And I think it'd be cool. And I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to be streaming the positions. I'm going to be doing short form content on the positions. So like day one of turning 5 grand to 100 grand. This is the trade, and I'm going to be explaining the trade to you guys as well. And you guys can literally just sit, watch the content, and essentially make money off me trading, which is going to be cool as well. So yeah, link is in the description for that. And just general trading on a day-to-day basis. BitUnex, guys, is an exchange that I've partnered up with. They've got a really clean UI, like really, really, really clean. Actually, I prefer this to a lot of other exchanges right now. Really, really clean. It's kind of like Binance. But it's better. It's nicer. It's nicer. They've got a lot of pairs, but they're lacking in a few pairs, and they're adding a lot more features over the next sort of 3 months or so. And I think they're doing copy trading in February as well. So yeah, we might get involved with that. Yeah, link is in the description for sign up for BitUnex. And also, guys, with that exchange, you don't need KYC. Okay, they're based in Dubai. So yeah, pretty good stuff there. And yeah, withdrawals are pretty sweet. So yeah, that's all that stuff done. Let's move on to I see Mr. Miles in the chat, and Simon saying good morning, y'all. Nice to see on the stream. We got Maz Patel as well. God, it's been a while, Maz Patel. And Mr. Miles says you've got 100k sitting on the side. Oh, you plan to trade up 100k? Yeah, yeah. I plan to trade up 100k, man. It's gonna be quite cool. And I think like for a good, I mean, it probably will take like a year to do it, right? Because we're not just gonna be, as I said, dumping massive positions on. We're gonna be doing this really, really not risky at all. We're going to be doing risk reward scenarios and everything. I'm going to be explaining every single position to you guys as well over the next year or so. So yeah, really, really exciting stuff for 2024. Everyone like the video, please. And thank you, says Lethal Mind. I see on the stream, Lethal Mind. Appreciate it. And guys, if you're looking for a Telegram community, you see everyone in the chat. They are the CC gang coming through. So yeah, if you want to go join the Telegram, link is in the description. Hopefully I'll put it in there. But yeah, let's talk more crypto. Let's talk more crypto because Bitcoin dominance, guys, you can see. It's the wrong tool. Bitcoin dominance, you can see, guys, right now we've actually lost a level of support coming through. And obviously we know what this means, guys. This means when this is coming down, Bitcoin has less dominance over the altcoins, okay? And this is on the daily chart. So if we do see continuation to the downside here, probably come to test this level of support because you can see the measure move that we do have from this rising wedge chart pan. They tend to usually break to the downside. So if this does happen, guys, and Bitcoin starts to tank it, okay? If Bitcoin starts to tank it and the Bitcoin dominance is coming down as well, altcoins are not going to be as reactive. They're not going to be as reactive as they usually are to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's dumping like a falling off a cliff, right? Ethereum might be holding steady for a little bit longer, okay? So that's definitely something to be looking out for there, especially if you're trading altcoins, because you know me, guys. I love trading altcoins coming through. So yeah, definitely one thing to look out for there is the Bitcoin dominance over the next sort of week or so, because if we do see this measure move complete, we're going to see altcoins obviously start to move on their own. Like layer 1 blockchains like Solana and DOT and ADA, these coins are probably going to start holding their own. And one thing that we have seen over the last sort of week, 2 weeks or so, Ethereum fees have just gone absolutely through the roof, guys. So we are going to see a lot of the lower cap altcoin trading move over to like Solana and Binance chain and stuff like that, right? Because obviously the fees are a lot cheaper. So yeah, that's something that needs to be sorted out. Let's do some altcoins, shall we? Let's do some altcoins. I haven't got my bloody chart up. That's a bit annoying. Let's see if I can do this. And yeah, I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let's start the week on a positive, guys. If you want to go follow my X account, we do Bitcoin updates on there as well. I let you know my positions for the week and good stuff. But yeah, let's get into some altcoins, guys. So get your altcoin requests in the chat, and let's get this going, okay? Let's get this going because let's look for some positions throughout the week that we can be getting involved with, okay? So straight away you can see injective protocol. I mean, this altcoin's actually been sailing, okay? We've seen insane moves to the upside from this asset. We've seen all-time highs getting broken at around $34, currently priced at $30. In terms of TA right now, obviously we do this upward sloping parallel channel. We did see a break to the downside from that. But what I would say now, guys, is yes, those trend lines are valid, but I probably would be getting rid of them because another chart pattern is basically just screaming at us, okay? We're going to be going from the high here or the candle body close high. Candle body close high does seem and look nicer. So we're going to go from that, measuring up to these wicks. You can see the resistance coming through from these areas. And this is actually going to be a bullish chart pattern, guys. We're going to do a nice little copy and paste on that trend line, and we're going to be dragging that along like that. And that essentially lines up for a really nice downward sloping parallel channel. Downward sloping parallel channels, guys, they tend to be bullish. They tend to break to the upside. So in terms of a position for that we could be looking for over the next week or so, we know this asset is bullish, guys. It's outperforming a lot of altcoins at the moment. It's been around for a long time as well. So yeah, to see this actually, wait, has it been around for a long time? I might be confusing it with a different coin. No, it has been around for a long time. Yeah. Previous bull runs. Yes. So for this asset to actually be at all-time highs now, it's actually really, 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 really bullish. Okay, and this is another layer 1 blockchain that is taking the crypto verse by storm or whatever. So yeah, I do think we are going to see new all-time highs coming through relatively shortly, and this is one that is behaving differently compared to Bitcoin as well, guys. So in terms of a move to the upside, which we could be looking for here, you can see 13%. I know it looks it's very sexy, if you will. Very nice move to the upside would be great there for a nice long position. But if we're talking about greed, guys, we cannot just be going for 13%. We've got to be staggering our take profits as we go up here, trading safely. Otherwise, we're likely to basically just get wrecked, okay? So we like to split that trade up into 4 potential take profit areas. 25% equity will be taken out with its profit at each of these TPs, okay? Once we hit our first take profit, we take our stop loss, we move our stop loss, wherever that may be, to entry point. And that way, if we do get reversed on, guys, because, you know, only 1 out of 3 of these measure moves actually complete themselves in chart patterns, right? 1 out of, well, it's like 3 to 1 chance. So it's better to be safe and taking profit, and then you're likely to get reversed on if the measure move doesn't complete itself. If that does happen, guys, your stop loss is at entry and you've already banked a bit of profit as you go. Safest way to trade. And again, this is how I'm going to be trading that copy trading account, which is going to be very, very cool. Can't wait for that. But yeah, in terms of areas to be getting into this position, the point that I want to be looking out for here is going to be around 31.9. Yeah, $31.90. That's sort of what I would be looking for here. I mean, there could be a little bit of breathing room here. Again, 31.7. It's going to be an area for resistance to be looking out for there, guys. If we do get that, then it's going to be very, very clean. First take profit is going to be this horizontal at 32.69. That's going to be very, very nice there as well. So yeah, that's how I would be structuring that that position to the upside for injective protocol. I am bullish on this asset, guys. I have been bullish for quite a while here. You can see new all-time highs getting tapped as well. If we do see Bitcoin take a dump, as we were saying at the start of the stream, I would expect injective protocol to essentially do the same on the basis that Bitcoin dominance doesn't absolutely crash off a cliff, right? I would expect injective protocol to take a dump as well. We do have volume-weighted ATR bands that are going to be holding us up daily, 12-hour, 4-hour as well. So yeah, many bounce points to be looking out for there. But in terms of the next move to the upside, which I would be the most comfortable taking, it is going to be this lovely long position using this symmetrical parallel channel. Yeah, falling parallel channel, and having that breakout to the upside. Yeah, I'm slightly under the weather, guys, so not the best today, but it's all good. We'll get there. Let's move on to Solana for Simon. Let's do a bit of Solana. I'm not going to be here that long, guys, because again, slightly under the weather. But I can see actually STX is doing it's having a nice little move to the upside. Look at that. That looks sweet. STX to the upside are up around 7% right now. Interesting. We are going to do Solana, and then we're going to move to that coin. We still want to check that out and see why that is moving. I'm going to be starting on the macro here for Solana and look at key areas to be looking out for there. I mean, market structure already drawn in there, guys. Let's see where we are at with that. So you can see, obviously, higher, low point. Let's get rid of some of these indicators, man. It's a bit too much. It's a bit too much. It's back to basics sometimes with trading, guys. It's kind of the best way. So yeah, let's get rid of all this stuff. I mean, straight away, I think we've got Fibonacci from all-time high Solana down to the swing low of the bear market. So let's have a look at that because we're coming down to the 0.236 testing level of support for Solana. And what do you know? That does form inside of this upward sloping parallel channel. Upward sloping parallel channels, guys, they tend to usually break to the downside. So if Bitcoin is going to pull back, essentially, to create that solid market structure that we were talking about at the start of the stream, then Solana, lovely short position to the downside that we can be taking advantage of. How big is this move going to be, you ask? Yeah, how big is this move going to be? Let's draw that in. If we lose Fibonacci as well, guys, this move's going to be pretty nice, actually. Probably 20 or 30%. Yeah, 20% on the dot. Very, very clean. In terms of higher low market structures, right now, we do have, actually, a new higher low created. Yeah, this would be a higher low, guys, because, not drawn in on the live chart just yet, because we do have this... significant pullback from the high getting broken, and then the high getting broken again after that significant pullback. So that essentially confirms this higher low, which means this is a very, very valid level of support, and that is currently sat at 62.9. In terms of macro market structure, guys, you can expect some sort of reversal coming through, or potentially head and shoulders chart pattern, something along the lines of that, something like that, right? Just freehand coming through if we do lose this higher low. Okay, so that does... It does make this short position more risky. Okay, it does make this short position more risky, but it does also, and it can also act as a nice take profit. I mean, guys, look, it's 20% right here, okay? So if we chop that down a bit, it's 5%. Still a really, really nice clean trade. If it's going to be, I mean, we haven't got a lot of other indicators in right now, but still really, really nice clean trade there for Solana. So let's get some more indicators in, and let's see what we're working with. I mean, volume weighted ATR on the 12-hour, look at that, lining up pretty perfectly with the higher low market structure. So that's another inclination that we're going to have a lovely bounce from this area. The support is forming from this zone, guys, and we're going to go into more indicators and see if it is going to be forming. And hey, if it is going to be forming, we could even short it here if everything else is looking really good, staggering those TPs, and then maybe getting out at the end of this go, and then just longing that bad boy back up to the volume weighted ATR band. So we got 5% to the downside, 5% to the upside. Some along the lines of that, right? If everything is lining up perfectly. Yeah, I do like doing that. It's good. It's good fun when you just flip the whole script. It's like, nope, I know it's going up now. Bang, change position. Good fun, man. Yeah, let's look at the volume weighted ATR bands on the WOD machine, because this does it on the daily. So yeah, the daily one is down there right now at 52. So you can see in terms of moving averages, guys, moving averages here on the macro. I mean, it's expected to look like this right now because obviously we're in a very, very strong uptrend, really, really nice bullish market for crypto in general. And you can see we're clearly riding support pretty heavily here on the 21 EMA. Okay, so that does line up with the Fibonacci here. So there's an expectation for a bounce from this point. Absolutely fine if that does happen. It will just mean that Solana's going to stay bullish, and yeah, probably would be heading. I nearly deleted the 21 EMA there, but we'll probably be heading to new highs there. In terms of levels of resistance, guys, for Solana right now, you've obviously got this massive box here, guys. This massive box in previous price action, you can see heavy support here, guys. Heavy support. I'm talking bounces of probably 20 or 30% there. You see 40% to the upside. Really strong bounces there, and that was obviously on the way down in the really volatile bear market there. So definitely a point to be looking out for there. If we claim that as a level of support, candle body closes above that are likely to see really nice bounces to the upside. That's definitely something that we can look at. And you can see last time that we did see this run up basically back in 2021, guys, we obviously saw heavy resistance from this point as well coming down. And let's look at that move to see how big that was. It's around 20% to the downside, bringing the price at around 65.84. Okay, 65.84. So let's take that and do a horizontal and bang that into where we are, and what do you know, it lines up goddamn perfectly with the Fibonacci. Okay, so there's another sign that we're going to have a really clean bounce here at this area of around 66.635. So yeah, definitely a point to be looking out for there. Maybe we test the 21 EMA, wick down to 66, and then probably have another little move to the upside for Solana there, looking pretty good here on the macro. That's gonna be it for Solana. So it is a If we lose that level of support, guys, obviously we're going to be losing loads of levels on many different indicators. So that is going to be a really clean short position worth around 5% to the downside. And I don't think we're going to be going any lower than $63, obviously, unless Bitcoin just falls off an absolute cliff. And if that does happen, the higher low point after that, guys, is 51 with the volume weighted ATR band on the daily. Okay, moving on to what have we got next? let's look at Kaz. Okay. This is, it's kind of confusing me, these coins at the moment, because you've got Kaz, Casper, so many different ones, like with this ticker, or similar tickers, right? So, yeah, let's have a little look at Kaz. Let me know if this is the right coin, Mr. Miles. That'd be great. We'll do Mexi, because Mexi tends to usually have the most data, because they're like I think it's a tier 1 or tier 3 exchange. I can't really remember, but they're a cheaper exchange to get listed on, okay? So they usually have the most data here. For a new low cap coin like this one at the start. Correct coin. Nice one. Perfect, man. So you can see Kaz obviously coming down right now pretty aggressively, actually. Volume weighted ATR band is pretty much on that zone. Okay, so what I would be ideally hoping for here, guys, just referencing this single indicator, is going to be a bounce from here. If we see a bounce from here, very, very clean. I want to see a daily candle body close above this zone. If you get the daily candle body close, don't just long this asset to the goddamn moon, because then you've got another day of basically testing this area again, okay? So likelihood of you find the support is pretty good. Probably going to consolidate between the 55 and the volume weighted ATR band here on the daily, if you don't absolutely catastrophically fall off this cliff, right? Which is looking pretty weak right now. Let's look at market structure, guys, because this is very, very crucial for an asset in this very, very strong macro uptrend, right? So we're going to go right back to the start here. You can see we've obviously got this high getting broken, pullback, low of that point getting broken again. So this is going to be higher low, and then moving up again, significant pullback here, break of this high, really, really clean, good stuff. Higher low coming through again, guys. Massive, massive move to the upside, really, really strong. Pullback, did we break that high? Yes, we did. So the pullback zone, this is going to be the higher low. Very, very important to get these market structures right, guys. Can't be taking this as a pullback because it's not broken this high. So we've broken this high here. Pullback, this is going to be higher low because we have broken this high here. So just going to be plotting these in now, guys. Now I've explained myself a little bit. As you can see, we're breaking highs. Really, really nice. Pullback, breaking that high again. So this is basically measuring the bullish market structure that we are seeing. Now you can see, great example here, guys. Massive move to the upside, massive pullback. Did we break this high? No, we did not. Okay, so this pullback is not a valid higher low. So the most recent higher low in this bullish macro market structure, guys, is actually all the way down at 7 cents. So you're still essentially bullish if you come down to here. Okay, if you come down to here, you're still going to be bullish. It's absolutely fine. So yeah, it's actually a pretty good sign to be seeing something like that, okay? So areas to be looking out for there, guys, for potential bounces. Near enough where you are now, because you've seen resistance there as well, and obviously volume weighted ATR on the daily discussed that. But don't fret, there is a very, very nice bounce point at 7 cents, and you can see the 200 EMA, the 200 SMA? I think it's the SMA. Yeah, I think the SMA is purple, not white. Is coming up as well to form level of support in this area. So yeah, the next high low in terms of market structure that I will be looking at is 7 cents. So yeah, overall we are bullish, guys. Obviously we've seen all-time highs coming through at around 15 cents. They're looking really, really strong for this coin. Going to be banging that in there. Now let's talk chart patterns. Let's talk trend lines, and let's see what we can get measured in here straight away. Downward sloping trend line coming through like that. I mean, we do have. I mean, this is how it can get trapped sometimes, guys, because you can see a bullish pennant chart pattern coming through here. Usually bullish pennant chart patterns usually means continuation to the upside. Bitcoin's not having that, so it's basically pulling Casper down quite aggressively. I think I had a conversation about this coin with someone in the pub before, yeah, they really, really liked Casper, right? So yeah, I think it's got some really good fundamentals behind it, if I remember correctly. So symmetrical triangle chart pattern yet again. We've got that coming through, so that would mean a bullish chart pattern again, but obviously we are still breaking to the downside, so that's not going to be valid. What I would sort of be looking for here now would potentially be something like this instead, okay? So as you can see, guys, we haven't got that many touches on those symmetrical triangle chart patterns, so the less touches, the less valid it is, okay? So what I would be saying here is potentially a bull flag, guys, potentially a bull flag from this move, and this you can clearly see is obviously uptrend, downward sloping parallel channel at the top of the uptrend, creates that bull flag scenario. Bull flags tend to usually break to the upside, guys. Says it in the name, bullish flag. And you can see we're actually testing this level at the moment for support, okay? Again, only a couple of tests for support here, so it's not the most valid chart pattern in the world. But if I'm looking for a future trade on the macro here, it probably would. I probably wouldn't trade this on the macro until we saw a breakout from this point. Yeah, I'd be looking for micro trades on this, probably playing the bounces of micro market structure or something along the lines of that, right? That's sort of what I would be looking for here. I mean, you can see you've got the volume weighted ATR band coming up here. Very, very, very strong, guys. We know about this indicator. Very, very, very strong. So yeah, we'll just have to see where this, I mean, we're getting a little pump now to see where this actually, the candle body close of the daily ends here. If we close above the 55 back inside this chart pattern, then you could see momentum resume. The momentum from this bounce was around 23% before, and coming up to the top side of this chart pattern was around 30%, okay? I'm not saying just blindly long this when we get the daily close. That's not what I'm saying at all, but I'm saying the direction, the micro direction that we are seeing right now. I mean, it's been like 2 weeks now that we have seen this sort of bearish momentum for this coin. But again, it's absolutely expected after seeing this market structure higher low get put in at around 7 cents. So we're still bullish even if we come down to this area, okay? Let's move on to what's next? What's next? I see Mohammed in the chat. Nice to see you on the stream, bro. Yeah, I'll do a bit of tier for you. Let's jump into tier. I mean, yeah, you've been asking me on my Telegram as well. So yeah, I'll get into that for you. Not a problem. See the greenest goblin as well. Yo, think we're going to bounce? Tell you what, guys, should we do a vote? Let's do a vote on Bitcoin. I want a 1 in the chat if you're bullish and you think we're going to bounce from this zone and we're going to be coming up to around testing 42 again. That sounds good. 42. I want a 1 in the chat if you think we're going to come up to 42. And I want a 2 in the chat if you think we're going to absolutely crash off the cliff and see a very, very nice bearish move here for a lovely short position. So 2 if you're bearish, 1 if you're bullish, okay? And while you're doing that, I will get onto tier for Mohammed here. Actually got this on my watch list. Pretty sure. Yep, there we go. It's down nearly 7% today, tier. But we have seen all-time highs for this asset. It's been very, very bullish overall. So I'm not going to really be on the macro that much. I'm actually going to cut it down a little bit. So we got Mr. Miles saying 1 in the chat. So Mr. Miles is bullish. Nice. Nice. Good stuff. And yeah, so in terms of a bounce point for tier, what I would be looking for here, Mohammed, is you can see that we've obviously got this, saying obviously again so much, man. You can see we've got levels of support coming through along this trend line to the upside, okay? So this is a parallel channel. This is a parallel channel to the upside. Parallel channels tend to usually break down, so it is not great, okay? It's not great, but we're not actually anywhere near that right now in terms of testing this level of support. So let's break this down a little bit more, okay? Let's break this down a little bit more because, again, yes, if we come down here and we break this, there is going to be a short position trade, something along the lines of this, right? But there's going to be a few things holding us back for that. One thing I do want to look at just quickly is market structure, guys, because I haven't got this drawn in on this chart. So quickly, I'm just going to bang that all in so we can look at the next sort of higher low market structure point that we need to be respecting to continue this uptrend, okay? So broke the high, significant pullback, broke the high, nice. Pullback, broke the high, yes. Higher low put in there as well. Significant pullback, breaking that high, really nice significant pullback. Just about breaking that high as well. Okay, so yeah, it's a bearish sign. Okay, it's a bearish sign, and this is basically market structure higher low that we have lost, unfortunately, guys, is 1268. This is a higher low because we've come down, significant pullback from the high, and we have broke that high again. So that confirms this as a higher low, and unfortunately we have lost that as a higher low. So the market structure right now is on a reversal, okay? So the next point that we need to be looking out for there for a bounce is the recent higher low after that, okay? And that is currently sat at $10.86. If we don't bounce from that, then hey, massive short position. Let's go to the effing moon. Now, what I would say is here, it's going to be a nice short position to the downside of market structure. When market structure is losing support to the upside, after seeing this being bullish for so long, guys, this is absolutely fine. We can capitalize on this. Really, really strong stuff. Yeah, good stuff. So in terms of a bounce point for tier, if you're looking to get back in, then we only got 2 likes. God damn, 2 likes on the stream. Nah, guys, I do appreciate if you drop a like on the stream. It does help out the channel tremendously. And we have been seeing some insane numbers coming through from a subscriber standpoint as well. We're at like 3.8K now. I think we're going for 4K by the end of the year. That would be insane. So like 12 or 13 days at the end of the year. So yeah, that's going to be insane if we can hit that, guys. Would really, really appreciate that. And obviously, if you love the content, I'm uploading literally like every day now. So altcoin content as well. And again, I'm on X, guys. Go drop me a follow. I update loads of stuff. That's not me in the shower. And yeah, update a nice position on Bitcoin and basically go into a bit more depth in my charts. If you're on that platform, drop us a follow. All good stuff. But yeah, back to tier for a potential bounce point. Again, it is bearish. Micro, it is, yeah, it's bearish micro market structure coming through, guys. So what I would say here is the next bounce point for the higher low is going to be $10.85 to be looking out for there. But yeah, overall it is looking fairly bearish right now. Let's I want to kind of jump down a little bit more to, I mean, that is the 4 hour. I thought we were on the daily then. Yeah, that is the 4 hour. Okay, so few things we could be doing here. Just simply, I wish I'd have done that a bit lower, but we can move it. I would be doing a parallel channel here, something along the lines of this. If I can edit it right, there we go. Because you can see we've obviously got resistance on the top side, support on the lower side here. Really, really clean parallel channel here. Measure move to the downside, looking something along the lines of this. We will do it. Let's do it. And this will mean we could actually see a potential measure move. Oh, what do you know? It comes perfectly down to the most recent higher low. Okay, so that is another inclination that we're going to see a lovely bounce from this point. Sell your house, long this asset. Joking, not financial advice, not at all. But what I'm saying is there's potentially for a nice little move on the micro up from this area. In terms of volume weighted ATR bands, guys, I actually do want to bring them up again cross platform, cross time frames here and see where we're at. Lost the 4 hour, that's bearish. Lost the 15-minute, bearish. The others are just miles below, which is fairly worrying. So yeah, there's not another inclination that we're going to have a bounce from that point. Just trying to get as much data as possible. Let's see what the bands are saying. Yeah, we have lost the band there, so that's bullish that we're going to come up. And WOD machine lost all major moving averages as well, guys. So yeah, I would be bearish on this asset overall. Be bearish, and I would expect to bounce at around 10.86. Okay, just looking at a few stuff there. Moving on to what's the next coin that we're going to do? What's the next coin that we're going to do? Is it in there? Now say X better. Yeah, I still call it Twitter. I'm really trying to say X. Mexi has the oldest data points for cast, so good choice. Yeah, nice. Good stuff. Rewind stream, BTATA there. Yep, good stuff. Look at BTC ASAP, says X Sweezy. Yeah, I mean, BTC right now, potential bounce. Okay, I'm not that bullish. I'm really not that bullish. Yes, there is bounce points from this zone. But what I would say is there's a lot of indicators here on the macro that are telling us that we need to come down. We've got Fibonacci that we need to come down. We've got market structure that we need to set, because the previous high-low market structure for Bitcoin is down at 25K. Really ridiculously low there. So, yeah, I really would expect us to be coming down at some point. But, hey, we know how this has gone. There is going to be potentially a rally up. If we do rally up from this 12-hour volume weighted ATR band, guys, I wouldn't be expecting us to break highs, okay? Especially not halfway through December, coming up to Christmas. It's going to be a lot less money being thrown around Christmas, guys. We know that. So we can really expect more volume coming into like the second week of January, when a lot more markets are back free flowing and stuff. So what I probably would expect is this whole period to have sort of a cool off time, setting market structure, which is completely fine, completely expected, still bullish, and we can basically capitalize on a lovely, lovely short position coming down from that area. Obviously, staggering those take profits all the way up as we go. Yeah, good stuff. And ICP, yeah, ICP actually, Satan's coin according to your brother. let's have a look at ICP, man. Because I think I deleted that from my watch list because it was just terrible to trade. So yeah, let's bring that up. I've heard the rumors about it rallying recently, and I think it was up like 10 or 20% for the day, maybe 10%. So I'm gonna actually go straight to Binance because they've got a lot of data on ICP. I mean, goddamn. I find this chart really funny because they opened really, really high because they had such good funding, and then it just absolutely tanked it like crazy. Absolutely tanked it all the way down. Obviously not great for people that bought the coin, but yeah, a lot of big investors got involved with this and got absolutely wrecked, right? But yeah, looking at ICP right now, obviously rallying up pretty good. Looks fairly bullish. But what I would say, guys, you know what I'm going to say. The OGs know what I'm going to say here. You know, it's a Mount Everest scenario. It is. When we're climbing Mount Everest, guys, terrible mountain. Let's redraw that. When we're climbing Mount Everest, we can't be going parabolic. Okay, we need to rest at base camp 1. We need to get some food. We need to get some sleep. We need to consolidate in this area, okay? If we don't consolidate in this area, we're going to go parabolic and then we're just going to die, okay? We're going to crash. We're going to freeze to death. It's not a feasible way to climb Mount Everest, so we need to consolidate in this area or around $7 to $7 to $9 to actually get a nice level of support. Otherwise, we're just going to get wrecked, okay? So yeah, that's the Mount Everest analogy that I like using. I've used it for like 2 years. I might always get that wrong, says Mr. Miles. I was going to say go straight to the top of the mountain. Yeah, I'll have a look at DYDX in a sec, Rory. But yeah, in terms of levels for ICP right now, it's obviously we're on a pullback from the high that we have recently just set. It was around 22% pullback. So that's actually pretty significant. It's quite a nice pullback, I would say. So still, I would still be bullish on this asset. After pumping 133%, 20% pullback's absolutely fine. You've got moving averages that are getting further and further apart, so that does validate the trend and make it more bullish, essentially, right? It validates it. So in terms of bounce points here on the 4 hour, we've got the price action channel currently sat around 834. We usually bounce nicely off that. If not, the 55 at around $7.62. But it all depends, guys, because we were actually rallying up before we saw this initially take off. So if we're just going based on this area and calling this the high, we've actually got quite clean market structure coming up to that point. So it does show that it is in a bullish momentum just overall. And then this is obviously just the FOMO Doge monkeys and SHIB heads getting involved with this, right? What I would expect anyway, right? Because any profit is profit and FOMO is FOMO. So yeah, when you're seeing a bullish candle like that and then a pullback, this obviously gives it a lot of marketing, organic marketing and word of mouth, especially across watch lists and stuff like that. So crypto bubbles, you see ICP, and that's how I saw it, right? I saw on crypto bubbles, saw ICP doing a nice percent. So I didn't think it did 130% or whatever it was, but yeah, 69% from that point there. So yeah, I think I saw it like a 20%. So a lot of people would have just jumped in and then tried to make a bit of money there. So that's probably why we're seeing that. But yeah, in terms of a pullback area, $8, $7. I'd like to consolidate in this area and then take another leg up. But overall, guys, on the sort of the micro time frames that we were just looking at there, just drawing the RSI down here. Let's delete that. Overall is fairly progressionary to the upside. Yeah, fairly progressionary to the upside. So basically, wherever we bounce here, guys, wherever we start to consolidate, after that, there probably will be a nice little trickle up trend after that. Okay, so that's what I would say about ICP. Bullish. Goddamn bullish. Everything's bullish. Apart from Bitcoin. On the macro, obviously. But yeah, let's do DYDX. DYDX. That's on the watch list, I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, that's on my BitUnex watch list. That is DYDX. And to get more data, should we do Mexi? Why not? Why the hell not? Let's have a look straight away at, actually, hold on, guys. I want to, if I've done TA on this chart before, I want to bring it up. DYDX. Yeah, I did it on Bybit. Okay, so let's have a little look at this. Let's have a little look. So, I mean, let's just zoom in. Let's see what this TA is all about. Let's see what it's all about. Okay, so yeah, there was a nice long position. I think I spoke about this on stream, actually. So I'm going to get rid of that trend line to make it more easy for you guys to see. You can see, obviously, downward slope and parallel channel tend to usually break to the upside. We obviously saw this measure move coming up like so. Really, really clean. Again, guys, this is a 3-to-1 chance that these measure moves complete themselves. This obviously did. Really, really clean move to the upside. Amazing stuff. 11%. Really, really, really strong stuff. Great trade for anyone that got involved with that. You can see staggered take profits all the way up. Now you're probably saying to yourself, I don't want to know about your old trade. Let's do some new TA and let's find out where this is going from now. Okay, so what I sort of would expect. Actually, no, I'm going to leave them in, guys. I'm going to leave them in. Yeah, what I would expect actually here, because we are coming up to this area. Sorry, just one of my meme, well, not meme coin, but one of my low cap coin is taking a bit of a hit. Not great. It's what it is. So yeah, what I would actually be looking at now, guys, is going to be a potential retest. Okay, we got a potential retest area, which is actually bullish. Okay, it's obviously it's not obviously bullish, but it's actually bullish from this zone because you can see we do have levels of support that have formed along this area before, and resistance coming through for DYDX. Now, if you were looking to trade this, and it's not going to be, I wouldn't be going for a full measure move again because obviously. Because we have seen this essentially get completed, like I just showed you guys a second ago. But what I would say is we clearly do have some sort of trend line coming up like so, okay? And the trend line that I'm talking about is upward sloping support line. You can see massive support, potentially a nice big wave to the upside like so, okay? So in terms of percentages, let's look at momentum. That wave was around 12%. Read for a sec. That was around 15 to 20%, just to be safe before the pullback. We're going to go for around 15%. So right now, from this level of support, up around 2.44%. Down on the daily, but in terms of a nice level of support to be looking out for there, this is not too bad for a nice little long, okay? Nice little long off this level of support, I would say, if everything else is lining up, guys, okay? If everything else is lining up, we're going to go into the micro as well. And you can see we do have this this dreaded trap zone coming down like so, right? These two parallel lines, usually a trap zone, guys. So we don't usually trade in that. So let's have a look. Previous price action, you can see, come up to this area, absolutely wrecked, okay? So we don't want to be trapped out here. So we need to basically wait for us to clear that in terms of a nice candle body close. We've tested the lower side here. So I want to see a nice bit of consolidation on here on the micro timeframes on the hourly, and then we could potentially see a nice move up to the 200 again. Okay, worth around 2%. And this is purely momentum trading from what we have seen on this level of support before, looking really, really quite strong here, okay? Worth around 2% to the upside, looking pretty good. What I'm thinking is, it's a stop-loss risk-reward scenario, okay? So if we're looking for a nice move, and it's going to be around 2%, you've got to weigh up the risk-reward here, guys, because a one-to-one trade on that would be bringing you not even down to the low that you have just covered, right? So it's not that good. It's not that nice, okay? It's not that rewarding. So either you go for a bigger position or you risk more, okay? Either you go for a bigger position or you risk more. We could actually lose this level of support as well. There's another chart pattern that's just I just saw there, which is like that. Parallel channel, guys. Parallel channels, they tend to usually break to the downside, okay? So the more that this is lining up, the less attractive it's getting. And this happens with some positions, guys. It's absolutely fine. Volume weighted ATR, but on the 15-minute, that's a nice little bit of confirmation that we can use as a reference point. You can see lovely candle body close just on that before. Nice little bit of a momentum bounce there. So if we can get that, it's confirming a little bit more that we're looking for. Just through two of them, looking for around 2% there. So again, not the cleanest position in the world. I would below all major moving averages as well. Yeah, this is, I probably wouldn't take this, guys. I really probably wouldn't take this because you can see all the resistance coming down. You're in this micro downtrend anyway. You're seeing a bit of momentum to the upside, but if you're weighing up the risk-reward scenario, it's not that clean. Okay, it's really not that clean going for that TP. Yeah, it's not clean. Okay, so not going to be getting involved with that. But in terms of more of a macro prediction for DXDY, DYDX, get it right, man. We could be looking at something a bit different. Something a bit different. So yeah, let's get rid of that TA for a second. And it's overall just doesn't look great. Really bearish. 4.3 to the upside, November the 15th. This should be trending up. This shouldn't be trending down. Yeah, this should be trending up. Okay, let's get rid of some indicators and get some market structure drawn in. I mean, it looks clean bull flag. That's like a clean bull flag overall. This is not a nice chart. Not a nice chart. It just shows that a lot of people are waiting to sell. Every time you get a nice big pump, you just get sold into, right? Again, it's happened here. So again, it's happened here. Again, it's happened here. So yeah, it's not great overall just for market structure and a trending perspective, guys. Trend is your friend. You ride that bad boy till the end. Friends with benefits, all that good stuff. So what I really would be looking for here is falling wedge. Yeah, falling wedges work. This would be reactive to essentially a Bitcoin move, I would say, essentially, guys. I'd be looking for a Bitcoin move from this to give it momentum. If we see Bitcoin starting to rally up again, I would expect a short-term break to the upside here. Falling wedges tend to usually break to the upside, guys. So there is a move around 20% there to be getting involved with, but obviously staggering those take profits all the way up. We know the drill. We don't want to get wrecked in our we don't want to get wrecked in our position, guys. We want to be taking our take profit as early as possible and basically taking our stop loss, moving our stop loss to our entry, and then it's a risk-free position. And hopefully, if it runs, it runs. Amazing stuff. But measure moves like this, guys, 20%, 3-to-1 chance it is going to run. So we want to be safe in that position as fast as possible. Yeah, overall, I don't like the chart. Straight up, I don't like the chart. It's not that nice. I don't really know that much about the fundamentals and the utility of this asset. But what I would say is there could be a nice move. I mean, just look at the macro moving averages here, the macro MAs. We are currently testing a lot of them. The 55 is holding up as a nice level of support. We've got the 200 down here as well. If we break this falling parallel channel, it's a falling wedge, man. We could see a nice move to the upside, but obviously staggering those take profits as we go. Moving on to Flux for Mr. Miles. I see NX saying, "We love you, Chester." We do. Nice stuff, man. And Arsenal top of the league again. Come on. Flux. Let's have a look at Flux. Just sat behind his PC right now, like, oh, shut up, man. Let's look at KuCoin. Look at KuCoin for this asset. Macro looking pretty good. When did this pump? Okay, pump the start of this year. Interesting. Okay, micro market structure not looking too bad. I mean, this is the macro, but let's draw this in, right? This is going to be the low that we are currently referencing for this current bear market, guys. You can see actually it's looking quite clean. Okay, so I would say higher low straight away, higher low. Got that, yeah. Higher low there, higher low there. I mean, it's just rough, guys. It's not exact. Do it exact, but yeah, just rough to get it in. Want to waste your guys' time here. Higher low there. Break of structure, market pullback there, break of high. Yeah, high low there. So we're currently testing the most recent high low for this market structure. It's actually a very, very crucial point for this asset, guys. Potentially going to get a bounce here. I do want to get some Fibonacci in this. Because might be the... Let's have a little look. High to low. Fibonacci is quite far away, actually. Yeah, so it's quite far away, so we can't really be using that as a direct reference right now. But it would have been a great point. But hey, let's jump back down to the daily and see what we're working with again. You can see volume weighted ATR on the daily, resistance coming through from that. If we clear that, hella bullish, goddamn moon, let's go. But what I would say right now is potentially descending triangle. You can see, like so, descending triangles. Descending triangles, guys, they tend to usually break to the downside. So if Bitcoin is going to have a move to the downside, obviously Flux will fluctuate with that. Excuse the pun. I would expect a move to the downside, breaking this high low, unfortunately. But you can see it's not the most valid high low in the world compared to this one. We had two bearish candles and then the high confirmed like that. So it basically shows that the high low isn't as strong as this high low after seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, something along the lines of that before coming up and breaking that high. Okay, so this is the more valid high low. So even if we come down to here, guys, I would stay with still bullish in terms of market structure, still absolutely fine. In terms of a short position for this asset, just referencing the chart patterns, you can see really nice clean measure move down to around 49 cents. There's going to be very, very nice take profits along the way. Price action channel looking very, very nice at 53 cents. By the time that we get there, this 55 EMA would be coming up to around 50 cents as well. So yeah, a couple of take profits I would be looking for there. Let's jump down to a lower term market structure. Just looking at the chat, go, Johnny. Check VeChain, please, mate. Yep, I'll get onto VeChain. Locked in from the East London. Come on, you gunners. Yes, sir. My guy. Let's go. Really good. So yeah, let's move on to, yeah, this position's looking pretty solid. If we do get a nice short here, the candle body close that I would be looking for here, it is going to be referencing this point, guys. Okay, it's going to be referencing this point, and let's look at previous candle body closes here on the 4 hour. This looks quite nice. So this is obviously a very obvious point here. Candle body closes here as well. Now, move to the upside. So this essentially means this is going to be acting as a very strong level of resistance if we are to go off a candle body close at this area at 55. So this is an area for us to be looking at for a potential stop loss, obviously above that, and just using that as a reference point. Again, candle body close in this area here at 55.53. So that, with the momentum from that zone, you can see pretty terrible shooting star candle there. That's probably going to send us down in terms of momentum. You can see 10%, really strong stuff, smashing through all major moving averages. So if we are going to be momentum trading or momentum referencing this point, guys, candle body close zone, I would like it below 55.60, and that's going to be the entry point that I would look for. So then we're not accustomed to this disgusting candle body close move to the upside there. We're actually going to be referencing this point, okay? Remember, not financial advice, guys. Just from an educational standpoint, and I look at many different indicators before I enter a trade. Just pure education, not financial advice. Do your own research. But 55.60 is the point. that I would be looking at for a candle body close below this zone is going to be very, very key. And that is going to put us down straight to a first TP at around 53.42. In terms of a first TP, let's get that in. Obviously, we've got the 200 EMA there. I would be banging in a resistance point there, but I do want to check this support. Yeah, you can see not nice bit of support there, bit of support. It's just a bit choppy, okay? It's a bit choppy, in my opinion. So I would be liking a bit of a box zone, a bit more like that. And this, sometimes, guys, with these box zones, you can just be using them as two TPs, okay? So one at the top side of the box, one at the lower side of the box, and basically expect fluctuation between them. So if you are going to be managing your position and for some reason your entry point was a bit lower in one of these boxes or just above one of these boxes like that, you can basically expect that you're probably just going to bounce around like that for a bit. So it's basically an inclination that you don't want to take your stop loss and move it to your entry point just yet, okay, until you find that key area of whether you're going to break the box or whether you're going to hold the box, okay? So yeah, that's sort of the points that I would be looking at for that position. How much was this worth? Did we draw that in? God damn, it's worth 12%. Money, okay? Money. You know why we're here. We're here to make money. Cold hard cash. Okay, more like 10%, just referencing that candle body close, guys. Let's get volume weighted ATR bands in. We know how solid these guys are. And guys, if you're liking the stream, drop a like on that. Does help out the channel tremendously. We're nearly at 4,000 subscribers. Unbelievable stuff. So yeah, if you enjoy the stuff, drop a like, and I do a lot of altcoin content as well. If you're into the Bitcoin updates on X, go drop us a follow on there. I go into a lot of TA as well, and I do scalp for low cap 100x coins as well, trading different chains and stuff like that. So yeah, you want to go do that, good stuff. But yeah, 10% here on the cards to be taken. I would say for a volume weighted ATR band reference, guys, let's get rid of the TA. Let's get rid of it all. Let's look at points that we're referencing here. You can see, obviously, on the daily, guys, this the daily volume weighted ATR band here, resistance, 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 resistance. Very, very strong resistance overall. It's looking really rough. So if we're chopping that on the daily, it just looks sort of more like a test, okay, for resistance. And we know how strong this volume weighted ATR band is on the daily. I don't know whether we're going to get the data on this asset. We're above it. We trend really cleanly above it, but you can see it's this little line here, guys. When we get above it with momentum, the bounces that we can get off this, really, really, really strong. But again, very strong resistance as well. So this is a very, very good, valid point that we need to be referencing here. And considering these are very consolidated here, that is very, very bearish. Okay, having all these volume weighted ATR bands consolidated together, I would say that is very, very bearish overall, just to be looking at it. In terms of a reference point for this short position, again, referencing volume weighted ATR bands, losing the 15, lost the 12 hour. This is bearish, guys. This is coming down. This is coming down. It's really validating this short. And just looking chart patterns, we could do maybe head and shoulders. Might see something along the lines of that. Yeah, might see something along the lines of that forming. Okay. So this, referencing that point there, just, I know it's a pretty rough drawing, but this basically can mean that we could see a reversal in this position because it's looking more obvious, guys. Everyone's got access to these chart patterns. The whales see this as well. The whales, smart money, they try and wreck the retail dumb money, right? So if they know we're all going to be trading this all the way down, the likelihood of us coming all the way down to 10% is ever so more unlikely, okay? I would expect a bounce before that at some level of support. So that's why we stagger our take profits all the way down. Once we hit our first take profit, we take our stop loss, and we put our stop loss to our entry. And that way, if we do get reversed on by a whale or something along the lines of that, guys, we're already making money. It's a risk-free trade the moment we hit our first TP, right? That's the most successful way I have found trading, just freehand, okay? But yeah, that's going to be it for Flux. Looking pretty good for a short position for Flux overall. Good stuff. Let's move on to VeChain. VeChain next, wasn't it, Johnny? Just going to have a drink of water and then we'll move on. I've got music on the stream at the moment. I don't know if I put that on. Background music. Yeah, it is on. Yeah, it's on. Good stuff. VeChain. Yeah, bit of vet. It's definitely on the watch list. Oh, and I hope you guys are having a good day. Make your money, hopefully. You know why we're here. VeChain taking a dive, but that looks lovely. Okay, volume weighted ATR band on the daily and the 12-hour looking really, really nice for a bounce there, guys. Actually, really, really, really nice. Okay, so let's break this down a bit. Let's look at structure. market structure straight away, you can see the most recent high low that we do have plotted in for this macro uptrend for, let's say, Bitcoin VeChain. It's at 2 cents 45. Overall, VeChain has been having a bit of a rally up. It's looking pretty strong overall, and a lot of people are starting to talk about it. I think we had a bearish day last week, and VeChain was one of the only altcoins that was really holding up strong. So very fairly bullish on that front, right? So really, really good stuff there. And what I would say here overall for a potentially trading this asset, guys, obviously we're on a pullback. Absolutely fine to be on a pullback. If we're looking at market structure, guys, you can see higher lows coming up. Really, really strong stuff. Even if we come down all the way down to this high low at 2 cents 459, we're still bullish. But what I would expect right now, we've cleared the volume weighted ATR band daily and 12-hour here with a lot of momentum to the upside. This usually means we're going to see a really nice bounce, okay? So let's have a look at that. On the 4-hour time frame, you can see volume weighted ATR band on the 12-hour. Look at that bounce. Sorry, no, the daily. Look at that bounce. And the 12-hour. Look at that bounce again. Very, very strong level of support there. You can see these are not small bounces, guys. They're really, really strong. Around 16, 20% or something along the lines of that, right? So what we could be looking for here in terms of a nice trade, it could actually be something like that. Only around 2% if you want to be safe. And what I sort of would be looking out for there is going to be the daily close. I want to see a daily close or a 12-hour candle body close before entering this trade, and then basically just running up potentially to the next volume weighted ATR band. Obviously, there's going to be a few more things in there. We can be looking at chart patterns on the shorter term time frames, on the micro time frames as well. Let's do that. See if we can get another point of reference. Some good drum and bass in my ear. Yeah, so this is looking like it could come down a bit lower if we're parallel channeling it. Yeah, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff straight off the bat. So many notifications. Yeah, so we do obviously have trend lines coming down, very strong. Not the strongest reference in the world here. Probably would be doing something like that instead. Yeah, that lines up a lot nicer, and that does create a falling wedge chart pattern from this zone. Just going on that. Yeah, falling wedge. Yeah, falling wedges tend to usually break to the upside, guys. So if we do clear here, there's going to be momentum to the upside. Very, very strong stuff. If we're looking for this clear bounce off these areas for support, back up to the volume weighted ATR band here, it's looking quite nice. Okay, it's looking quite nice, but you're talking real micro time frames here if you're going to be referencing chart patterns here. So probably not going to be doing that for now. Let's look at divergences. Let's look at stuff like that. Are we seeing any divergences? Yes, potentially. Okay, potentially seeing divergences here, guys. And essentially that means that we're seeing lows being set on the RSI. And yeah, previous lows being set on the RSI, but not seeing lows, setting new lows on the chart, but not saying it on the RSI. So essentially what we do have here is opposites. Okay, we do have the opposites here coming through like that. Not confirmed just yet, because we haven't really seen that much consolidation in this area to confirm this bullish divergence. And if this bullish divergence does play out and we don't break this low in terms of this momentum to the downside, which I don't think we're going to, unless it's really violent, unless it's a really violent dump and BTC dumps off a cliff, then yes, you can expect the RSI to break this low. If that does happen, then yeah, I would expect a bit more of a lower test on these volume weighted ATR bands. But overall, that is a great sign here on the hourly that we're going to be having a nice bigger bounce. Okay, and the bounce I'm talking about, probably worth around 2%. And you could ride this up, actually. Okay, you could ride this up if we're going to be referencing horizontals and areas. You can see mass levels of resistance here. So what I would be saying is TPs, staggering those bad boys up. Yeah, probably could be quite profitable, this, actually. Yeah, so you can see this would actually be a box zone, guys, because we do have levels of support, levels of resistance coming through as well, but it's not that clean, okay? It's not that clean in terms of a good reference point, so TP either side if we are going to be using that as a reference, okay? Yeah, in terms of a long position for this, again, we do have, it's quite a big gap, okay? It's quite a big gap for this test. I mean, look at the last time that we came down and tested this for the higher low structure here. It was quite strong, okay? It was quite strong momentum to the downside. So if Bitcoin is going to be dumping here and we are going to lose this level of support, then you can see that we're going to probably crash down quite violently here for VeChain. So yeah, there's a couple of things that you want to be looking out for here, and I would really be referencing the 12-hour close and the daily close as well, guys, for this potential long position. I do love long in the volume weighted ATR bands when we come down and they're consolidated together, because they just act so strong as support, especially when we've been trending above them for a significant amount of time, right? But yeah, that's going to be VeChain done. Overall, I would say, guys, fairly bullish. Overall, fairly bullish in terms of market structure. Down at 2459 is where I'm still bullish. That's absolutely fine if we get down to that area. And you can see, I'm so zoomed in. Yeah, you can see we've got a very, very clean area here to bounce off as well. Okay, so if we do dump down, there is going to be a clean bounce again at 225. So potentially before the higher low gets tested as well. But yeah, short term, micro, I would be looking for a nice little 2% bounce on volume weighted ATR bands. Oh, I wasn't going to stay for that long. Done an hour. So let's have a little look at what is next on the request list. Guys, if you're liking the stream, drop a like. I stream Monday and Friday now. Views on Gary, says Mystery Man. Mystery Man's back. He was on the stream last week. Nice to see you on the stream there, man. Let's look at Gary. I find it interesting that people have like their OG tokens, right? Or the token that they heavily support. Oh, yeah, we did TA on this before. Resistance like that. I don't know why that's there. Yeah, let's look at this, Mystery Man. I'm pretty sure you requested this last week. But yeah, everyone's got like their own altcoin baby, right? Obviously, you've got the Bitcoin maximists, or whatever they're called, maximalist. I'm my favorite altcoin that I don't know why I hold on to it and I like it that much. It's Monero, guys. I love Monero XMR. It's a privacy coin. It kind of, for me, it represents decentralization. You can't use blockchain forensics on it, and that's why it's being primarily used on the darknet at the moment, and essentially that's kind of where Bitcoin came from, right? So yeah, I do like Monero and the whole concept behind it. And I do think in the bull run we're going to see some big prices for that. If you think about Bitcoin and how that kind of came about and how that sort of was established, it basically started on the darknet, right? So it's like same sort of thing. And it's low supply as well, guys. I think it's like 18 million. It's in top 50 altcoins, right? So it's obviously high cap coin, but there's a potential there for sure. Now looking at Gary, okay, looking at Gary, support levels is very clear from the 3 cent 274. That's going to be a bounce point I would be looking out for there. Obviously we have broke this high. So market structure is going to be looking something along the lines of that, high or low there. This is the problem with market structure on the macro and stuff like this. When you see a pump like this, it's very annoying to be doing macro market structure, because you need to be breaking this high and then setting a higher low somewhere along the lines of that, right? So we can't actually have another valid higher low on the macro because we haven't broke this high yet. So there's no validation that this is a higher low. So actually the most recent higher low for this market structure is all the way down at 2 cents. So yeah, not great there. So you would be doing it'd be better to do micro trends market structure and then basically reference that instead if you are going to be trading this. But yeah, in terms of a bounce point, I would be looking obviously at support around 3 cents there. Let's look at shorter term time frames because we are running down. Okay, in a micro downtrend here, maybe parallel channel. Let's have a little look. As many touches as possible. Yeah, parallel channel to the downside, which does essentially mean it's a bull flag, guys, at the top of this uptrend. So that does mean we are looking at potential break to the upside, okay? What I would be looking for is, I mean, it's not clean. It's really not clean. You can see every single time you get bought up, you just get dumped, bought up, dumped. And these aren't small buys either. They're significant moves, even on the 4 hour. So it's 20-30%, man. So yeah, it's not looking great. Not looking great. I want to hold this. Even then, you can see here, support is not great on that zone. So yeah, I would be waiting for another move up. Yeah, that's sort of what I would wait. I wouldn't be trading this right now because it just looks fairly bearish. And in terms of like pulling back 40%, you should be coming back up right now. You shouldn't be hesitating in these areas. So obviously, again, guys, I did say it is a bull flag, so we can be looking at something along the lines of that in terms of move to the upside. Obviously obviously, again, not to I don't think it's going to be happening anytime soon. I would be waiting patiently for this if we are looking for that move. But the breakout is going to be at around 4 cents there. Lost 15-minute volume weighted ATR band. You're below the 12-hour again after claiming it. Yeah, it's not great. Okay, it's not great. I just want to show you guys the 12-hour there. See, 12-hour volume weighted ATR band. This little red one here. When you break that to the upside, look at this test. Look at that test again. Really, really, really strong until you lose it and then find that resistance. So yeah, this is a very, very good indicator that I use and preach so much. But yeah, that is going to be it from me, guys. I do appreciate you guys stopping by for the stream. Best stream we've had in a while, I must say. Really, really good view count and good stuff. And I see you guys are all talking in the chat. If you are looking to join the CC Gang community, guys, link is in the description. Amazing stuff. Again, I'm doing a trading challenge to start the year, guys. The trading challenge is going to be $5,000 to $100,000. It might take us 6 months. It might take us a year. We're going to be using solid risk reward on that. If you want to be involved and be a part of that, it is going to be on my copy trading account. Put 5 grand in there, and we're going to basically be running that up over the next in 2024, right? So yeah, if you do want to get involved with that, guys, you go to Fairdesk, sign up, deposit money, and you can literally just press copy and you can copy my trades. You don't have to do anything. You just press copy, and any money I make, you make as well off the 5 grand. Pretty cool. And also I do trade on an exchange called BitUnex, a new exchange that I've partnered up with as well. Really, really, really good exchange. Really nice UI. You should definitely go check that out. And I think they're offering like a 5 grand bonus or something. So yeah, really good exchange as well. But yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. Do appreciate it. And I will be back with some more altcoin updates probably later today or tomorrow. And if not, I'll be back for a Friday morning stream or Friday afternoon stream. Not sure where you're watching from any time in the world. But yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. Peace out.